in this box, we've got a 1,000 horsepower Mazda rotary engine, and we're going to fit it into my Volvo. Hello. It's going in.
No, you do not just cut.
No, obviously draw a line.
Your hand's not going to 26 centimetres, let me tell you.
I need to cut this out as well. It was all going really great until the helicoils stopped going in. Looks straight from warehouse.
And I'ma do it again. Watch me. I can't take no
Right, so in this box is an engine that we've been waiting for about 4, maybe 5 months. This is a fully built Pulse Performance Mazda three-rotor, built for 1,000 horsepower. Is that one gonna hit? Right, so here we have it, the heart for the Volvo. This is a Mazda 20B, aka the three-rotor, with a turbo setup. This is gonna make 1,000 horsepower. This was made by a company called PPRE, Pulse Performance Race Engineering, in New Zealand. I first started speaking to them when we built the Corvette, because we put the rotary engine in that, and we wanted to make sure we had something reliable straight out of the box that we knew we could make power. So this is all built brand new. So we've got basically Mazda parts that you can still buy from the factory, which are basically RX-7 parts. They then modify them for clearancing and just basically getting the tolerances right. Mazda built essentially the engines really well from factory, but the thing that they did in order to save kind of time is the clearances just aren't quite the same as what they need to be for making 1,000 horsepower. So essentially, when you start adding boost into them, the thing that kills the rotary engines is they start twisting or pulling apart, and that's when they go wrong. So this has been fully clearanced. It's got dowels going through all the different block sections, and that just stops any twisting. So the engine is solid, and it can take all the boost that we want to throw at it. Right, for those of you that are absolute rotary enthusiasts, you probably already know exactly what this is and you know why it's special. For those of you who don't know what rotary engines are, they're pretty unique. Essentially, this is a piston-less engine, so there's no conrods, there's no pistons, and there's no valve train either. Essentially, the way a rotary engine works is the rotor, which is like, I guess, the piston of the engine, it is a triangle shape, and that sits inside these housings. So we've got 1, 2, 3. And the housings are like a kidney kind of shape. So as the rotor can pivot around on the E-shaft, it kind of doesn't spin on its own axis. It kind of travels with the crankshaft, and that creates 3 stages of combustion. So you've got the induction stage, then you've got the compression and the exhaust stage. And that essentially in the same way as an engine works, but because you've got this triangle with 3 sides, that stage can happen 3 times, like one after the other. So that's why such a little engine can create such high power. Now, the other cool thing about this engine is just the noise. Rotary engines sound like nothing else, and each type of rotary engine has its unique noise, from like a 2-rotor to a 3-rotor, then a 4-rotor has that really high scream. That also changes if they're turbocharged or not. So I think the 3-rotor is the best sounding turbo, whereas most people say the 4-rotor is the best sounding NA because you get that really high note. And then there's a few people who have done the 6 or the 5 rotors, which are the absolute unicorns. And again, they start sounding like the V10 Formula 1 cars back in the day that revved super high. So one of the pros for a rotary engine is, again, they're really simplistic inside. So once it's, if everything's set up correctly, like this one is, when you're at high RPM, it loves it. There's no valves to go wrong, and it can just happily live there. So that's probably the biggest reason, is noise, power, and it just looks crazy. So I can't wait to get this in the car now to see how it fits. So what we've got here is a Quaife 69G gearbox. So this is a dummy unit that Quaife kindly sent to me. So this means that it hasn't got any internals. So it's really light, compared to a full one anyway, and makes it perfect for when you're doing conversions, when you fit in a new gearbox to a car, because it's so much easier to lift it in and out. It's going in. Right, here we go. So you start dropping it down a bit.
Wait a little bit.
Oh, sorry, you've got a thing there, okay. I think you can go down quite a bit. Oof. I'm getting cocky with it now. Yeah.
Down again?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to cut the trans. Sorry. You're going to have to cut the trans tunnel.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that. Okay. Now can it?
Get out.
What, go back?
Yeah.
That's it. That's what you got.
That's all you've got. So at the moment, annoyingly, the main thing.
Can you go down? Can you not go down anymore?
At the moment I can't because there's an AM fitting straight there. We're trying to get this in, and one of the things that we weren't 100% sure on, which the engine builders didn't really know either, is where to put the dry sump scavenge fittings. So at the moment, that is right in the way where we don't want it. So I think if we can get it back a little bit further, that might work. If not, we're going to have to take the plate off after and reposition that somewhere else. All right, so one negative so far. On the bright side, we've got loads of fit clearance around the dry sump pump and the alternator, which was something that we...
Tiny, isn't it?
Yeah, we had trouble with last time with the Corvette. We ended up making that all ourselves, and that was a pain. So it's much easier to take the sump plate off and
it clears the steering.
it clears, with loads of space for the steering. Yeah, loads of space. So we are going to have to cut the firewall, and then we're going to have to cut that AM fitting off probably, or cut the subframe, or both.
Yeah. Because you've got a hole in the subframe.
Maybe, we can have a look.
I mean, that sounds like better.
Depends where the steering rack sits. Whatever we do with the engine, unless we fit it back so like 4 inches, it's going to be in the way still.
You can't though, can you? Because then your fuel rail will be in the bulkhead.
Yeah, yeah.
So if anything, it's kind of in the right place where it is now. You just want to move that forward.
Yeah, it wants to be on that side. Okay, well let's take that out then, because that's stopping us making progress. Yep. Right, so we've hit our first roadblock, which is that this scavenge pump is literally sitting on the subframe. So we're gonna have to put that somewhere else, probably go there, or we can go near the front. It's not the end of the world. It was a bit of a guess at the time when we ordered the engine, and it didn't pay off. So take this off, get rid of that, and then we can carry on fitting the engine.
Bolt on it, that was it, wasn't it? Just that?
Yeah.
It's just that, there's nothing else.
Oh, mate. There you go. There you go.
Cool.
Yeah, you couldn't get that recut, Axel.
What's that? Oh, lovely.
They probably want that in a certain place by the looks of it, mate.
It's just got to be anywhere in the challenge. Yeah.
So you could have it there.
We can have that remade.
Well, technically.
It's just to make sure the oil, these are done that, so the oil goes in there as you
Yeah, but
drive.
to get that machine, it would cost you loads.
This thing's costing loads anyway. Abort the project.
Yeah.
Abort the project, we're over budget. Cross that bridge when it comes. I'm not sure I want to be your assistant anymore. I think we're above the bolts now anyway, so. Okay, and I just need to get that. There we go.
Down a bit?
Yeah, loads.
That's where we were last time-ish.
Get down lows now, boys.
So what's the gearbox doing? A bit of it's over. So if I
Can you push it up?
can try.
No, not really. Well,
It's gonna hit there, isn't it?
yeah, mainly on Kian's side. I don't know if it's in the middle though, Axel, to be honest with you. Let me,
It's a little bit
no,
up.
come over to me a little bit.
Yeah. Like that.
About way up.
Oh, too much.
Oh, you
Like that.
Yeah, I can come back now though.
Right,
Is that all you got?
I got a face full of shot.
Today's medical-centric topic is foreign object in the eye.
Okay, so let's leave it like that for a second and then have a look where we're hitting and reassess. I'd say, and that still gives you, by the time that's gone up, it's going to give us enough for a turn on there. So, need to cut. Just
Can I draw a line? No, you do not just cut.
No, obviously draw a line.
You draw a line.
And then what we might do is square it off more later when we've... The difference from the bottom of the windscreen to the top of the tunnel has to be...
Hang on, can we just measure your rough...
Yeah, can we guess?
Yeah, can we just measure your rough thing? And then we're going to measure it and see if it was close.
Firewall. It can be no wider than... The total width can be no wider than 46 centimetres. Minimum distance between the bottom of the windshield and the top of the tunnel is 26 centimetres.
26 centimetres? That's like that.
Yeah.
I reckon it's that.
Mate, your hand's not going to 26 centimetres, let me tell you.
Yeah, I mean...
Is that bottom of the windscreen, did it say?
Yeah.
Well, that's all the way up here.
Isn't it?
Yeah. So...
Something about that.
Yeah.
I think that's a happy medium. You've got loads of
Yeah.
room here to put a massive girt intercooler.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and most of the engine's behind the turrets anyway, at least 50%, so...
Yeah.
Loads of room for a turbo. It's going to be lovely, mate.
46 centimetres is
That is
the...
nowhere near 460 mil.
So, quick update. The tunnel needs to go bigger. We've got the gearbox bell housing is hitting on the tunnel, so we've roughly drawn around it. We're going to make that neater now, and then we're going to cut it big, and that way, fingers crossed, it should fit. Everything else looks good. The bottom's now good with that AM fitting taken off, so yeah, do some cutting. Looks straight from warehouse.
Yeah, I've seen you fabricating.
Yeah, sweet. Really good. Cool. Hello. Oh, bit up, bit more up. One pump.
Ready?
Yeah.
Whoa. What are we hitting on?
Top of the tunnel.
It was about there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're not far off.
It's because it's sat on the slopey part of the...
Yeah, just keep sliding down.
Yeah, man. If you hold it up, it'd be about there.
Are we happy there? Because I need to cut more of that bulkhead away.
Yeah. That's roughly, I mean, if you hold it still, we could measure.
All the way down to that lip,
Yeah, yeah. Let's do that.
if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Right, just sort of come down there.
Yeah, I think so. Widen it the whole way to there.
Yeah, and then just straight down either side, because we're tight on both sides, to be honest.
Right, coming out?
Do you want to make any marks, or do you can see?
No, no.
Okay, yeah, let's go back out then. We're not far off, like the engine mounts, actually, or we could just go here on the subframe. But I don't know there's an advantage to having it on the arms, like on the actual chassis legs too, because then you drop the subframe without dropping the engine. So have a look. Let's get it.
Don't know, I put my goggles now.
There.
Oh, they are in a safe place.
Hey, Louis.
Good update.
So the update, we need to cut the tunnel more. We're being a bit conservative because it's easier to take metal off than put it back on. So, but yeah, we're going to have to take it up quite a lot bigger now. So yeah, just about to do that. Before we do that, do you want to you've measured in between there and there. We're nowhere near 46, are we?
No, no.
Oh.
Having a foreign object in the eye can be a distressing and uncomfortable experience.
Not the engine. Save the engine.
That's a big hole. That's a big hole.
Do you like it?
I like it.
It's leaning back a lot still, isn't it? I need to get my angle, find my angle. Okay. Yeah, the gearbox is...
How far do they come down?
They drop down quite, but the gearbox at the back is going to have... Yeah, it looks really good. But the next thing's going to be we're going to see if we need to cut this out as well for the prop.
Yeah, you have to.
Probably.
still got to be higher.
And that, if that's got to come higher, that's going to have to come. You're going to have to cut right back
Yeah.
to there.
Yeah.
Looks straight from my house, as Rob would say.
Oh yeah.
Is it Allen key?
Do you want to use it or just push it through? That's more of a depth gauge.
Yeah, but it helps to push against, doesn't it?
That's true. Right, quick update. We have cut out what I think is enough of tunnel so we can get the gearbox high enough. So the thing with the rotary engines is, compared to a normal engine, the crank is in the center of the engine. So on most engines, well, on normal engine, you'd have a crankshaft at the bottom, so then the gearbox kind of sits a little bit lower because the middle of the gearbox has to go with the middle of the crank. Rotary engine has the crankshaft in the middle, so it actually sits like that. So it means that the gearbox sits higher compared to the engine. So we're getting the engine as low as we can, but we're taking enough space to make sure the gearbox fits. Now we're moving on to gearbox mount, engine mount for the front, sorry. So we've got this billet plate for the dry sump. That's got holes that we can attach mounts to. So what we're doing is now we've actually decided to helicoil it so we can drill straight in, well, attach the metal straight onto that with bolts and then build the mounts from that. It was all going really great until the helicoils stopped going in.
Yeah.
I'll let you know if it's any good. Nope. Yeah. Oh, it's hard to know. No. Is it going or not? It's pretty brave leaving them there already. That's the one that goes in the side, isn't it? Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't grabbing that one by accident and sending it in and stripping the threads.
Don't worry.
A bit more. Let me get that. There we go. Wait for it. And then what we want to do is probably get that 5mm, some 5mm plate there. Right, let me, when you load it down a bit and then I'll put the jack up.
It needs to come to me.
Is it?
What you reckon? I don't know. I'd say you're so far over your side.
Right, is that down now, Rob?
No.
No, keep dropping it down.
Yeah.
We'll go towards keying. Now that's on those mounts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we need to measure chassis leg to chassis leg on that. Push it back this way. Let's try that.
Way too much.
Yeah, but I'd moved it way too much the other way.
So remember you're going off the top of the rule there, yeah?
Yeah. 33.6. 33.6. Yeah, but I've moved it up.
Okay.
Is that all right?
You want to say that?
Yeah, so that's bang on. Not that. Let's try that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to get the clearance on this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Maybe go forward a tiny bit just to give us.
Forward more.
No, I reckon we notch it if it's any more.
Yeah.
3.5 degrees lean back.
I mean, that's in the middle of what it was before and now, isn't it? So I think that's just right properly, yeah.
Yeah. Got some fittings, so we're going to see if they clear. No. What's it? 12? No, I'm just seeing what size it is.
Oh, that's broken now.
No, uncalibrated. Calibrate on the wonky Volvo. Mint. That's the same as the Volvo.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, literally was, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the same as on the Volvo.
Quick update. So there's been a lot of to and fro, backwards and forwards, pushing it left, pushing it right, up and down, trying to get the angles right, which we didn't want to show because that would be boring. But I think we're pretty much there now. We have got the engine centered, which is important, and we've got a good angle. It's not leaning to one side. I've got a dry sump, that's not so important, but it's nice to have it level. And then we can't have the engine dead flat on this, because if you have it dead flat, we're going to have extreme angle towards the back of the car. Now the gearbox is sitting a little bit higher, so we've got a slight angle going down, which should be kind of counted out by the axle angle, the diff angle. So yeah, I think now we're ready to weld the mounts on and get it in place. Oi, Rob. It's American, I imagine, because it's half inch, isn't it? So we're making up these little bushings for the engine mounts that are then going to get, these will be two little flanges come off the chassis rail. There's going to be a bar to the engine, and simple as that. So just pressing the bushings in, and Rob can weld it. I managed to make some mounts. Just taking them off now to fully weld them, and then that's the engine mounts done. We've just done a temporary gearbox mount for the moment. We're not 100% sure what's going to happen at the back, so we just want to keep it in position so we can get the car off to get the turbo manifold made. That'll be the next thing. And then after that, we can really start adding bits on, making new firewall, putting the prop in, seeing how far back we need to take the firewall, the bulk. The tunnel. Yeah, do a little cut. Yeah, you have to extend the tunnel to clear that. So, yeah, we're making good progress. Yeah. There we go. Move the jack and right, so there we have it. The engine is finally fitted into the car. It's on its own mounts. The gearbox mount is temporary, but the engine is in the position that we want it to be. I believe this is a world first so far with a three-rotor in a Volvo, but I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Obviously it's not running yet, but it's going to be soon. Yeah, Rob done a really good job on the engine mounts. We've got these little bushings. We helicoiled the sump pan so we can hang it off there. And yeah, it's just now hanging. I think it looks absolutely amazing. We've got a bit of work cut out for us next to make this, fix a tunnel and the firewall, but that's normal for any car when you do an engine swap. But next up, to kind of keep things moving with this project, because we've got quite a tight deadline till Goodwood, we're going to take it to Walton Motorsport, and they're going to make a custom manifold and exhaust for the car. So yeah, the only other thing that we need on the car for them is a turbo. So I've got one from the Corvette, so maybe we can see what that looks like. God, I forget how heavy these things are. So look at that. I reckon somewhere around there it could fit quite nicely. Yeah, so it might only be a small engine, but when you put a massive turbo on there, we know it's going to make power. We said it's 1,000 horsepower, and that's because we know it's going to make 1,000 horsepower because I've got an identical engine in the Corvette up there. So by the time we get it on the dyno, yeah, we're going to be pushing 1,000 horsepower pretty much straight out the bat, which is really cool to know. Yeah, so I hope you like this one. Probably a little bit less banter in this video because it was quite serious because we wanted to make sure we got it perfect. But yeah, I hope you liked it. Hit the like button, press subscribe, it really helps, and see you on the next one.